Ladies and gentlemen, once again, hapa tuko one-on-one with the rally legends, and today we are lucky leo tumeweza kumpata mkurugenzi mwenyewe Eric Bengi. Well, this guy is so hard to find. Mbona upatikani hivi? You know, hii Kasarani ni mambo yote. So today we came here and guess what? These guys are up to something very interesting here. And we can't wait to hear the story about it. And anyways, let me not talk too much. Bengi,
yes.
Welcome. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you too.
So, what brings you on a Sunday?
Yeah, we're coming to test our classic car, just to have a feel of it. We've been working on it for the last 4 or 5 months. We pieced it together and just come together. So let's see.
Yeah.
We want to have a feel of it on this track.
Okay.
Yeah, and
so
shake it down a little bit. Be ready for next week.
So one thing that makes me find you as a very interesting rally driver is that you're in all sports apart from motocross. As in, you've done WRC, you have done Kenya National Rally Championship, you have done autocross, you've done classic. Like, what's all this?
You see, one sport leads you to another, and practice in one also takes you to the other. We do autocross as a way of practicing and sharpening our skills on the tight and twisty tracks. We did WRC and the NRC, you know, as a longer race.
Yes.
We do classic, you know, ile ya kutulia.
Yes.
This is a race for the legends. This is a race for, you know, for people who have done it all. And to be honest, classic is very, very enjoyable.
So you think you're enjoying more than, you know, the Evo 10?
You see, ask yourself, put yourself in a rally car for 10 consecutive days non-stop.
Yes.
How better can it get? What can beat that? So that is classic for you. Number 2, it is not about power, it's not about the sprints that you can do. It is about how you can manage your car for those 10 days. Then number 3, you're driving an old car. Well, this car is slightly younger than me, but you know, you get in sync with this old machine and you take it for the marathon. You need to be very measured. 2-wheel drive, whether it is muddy, whether it is wet, it doesn't matter, and you have to pull it through. So we love classic because of the challenge. The challenge is at a different level.
Correct.
From an enjoyment point of view, to be honest, I'm very, very comfortable and happy with classic.
So you're better off with classic. Okay. So, Bengi, when you started this classic, you did, I think you had a Nissan. It was a Nissan, right?
It was a Datsun, yeah.
Datsun. So now, here you are with an Opel Kadett. I mean, where do you get an Opel?
These cars are there, and actually there are a few pieces around. In fact, I have two. We were walking around after our experience with the Datsun, and we had a few concerns about the power and the consistency of delivery of power in a carburetor car.
Yes. And
we went back to research to look at which cars pre-1985 actually had EFI engines, and surprise you not, we came across the Opels, the Toyotas, and so on and so forth. Then we went ahead and we were looking at which cars have been developed over the years, and you can easily find the rally cars.
Yeah. And
Opel stood out. The other thing about the Opel is very light. It's a very light car, very small, compact, and it has good space and enough power.
Yes.
So that's why we settled for it. And to be honest with you, yes, we still at the development stage, but we have no regrets about it.
So when I look at the lineup of this upcoming mini classic that is happening from the 15th to the 18th in Eldoret, and by the way, that's the same period when Eldoret is being, you know, elevated to a city status. Very interesting to see how things will shape out there.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, like, how do you see that competition? I think there are about 20 or 22 cars already.
Yes.
How do you find that competition?
It will be a very interesting one because we're on the high altitudes. Um, uh, Depends on how well you'll have prepared your car. I would say we have a little bit of an advantage because we are front wheel drive. Yes, our engine is not the most powerful compared to the Porsches and the Ford, but we will be there. And the uphill with the front wheel drive is pretty nice and nimble.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's see. I think this would be a good race to compare ourselves with the other competitors in the class.
Yes. So, Bengi, I know you're a good mentor to quite a number of young people who are interested in getting into motorsport. And here you can see we have two buggies that are driven by your family.
Yes.
Like, Madhe anasemaje hii story ya maboys peke yake hapa tu. Like, how did you have that conversation?
Well, you know, what we have said as a family is that let us give the children an opportunity to, pursue careers and pursue passions that they are really interested in. And it wasn't a very easy conversation at the beginning, especially when the mother sees the older son with me.
Yeah.
The next one is getting into motorsport, and even the last one is coming.
Yes.
But she has come to make peace with it.
Yes.
So far, she's okay, and no issues. She comes and supports us a lot. Yeah, and we are good.
Something that people keep on asking, and yesterday we were having a meeting. Now, wakauliza tu maswali like, what's the difference in all these rally exposures?
Yes.
You know, kuko na street rallies, kuko na hizi zina happen. Like today, there's one in Machakos.
Yes.
There's the autocross.
Yes.
There's the WRC style. There's the KNRC. You know, like, how do you help people to understand and distinguish the difference between these different sports?
For starters, and why we even started the 770 as a team is so that we can expand ourselves and have people participating in the different categories,
Yes.
even to better understand them. As you know, the regulations for all these different races are different, including the setup. So, but broadly speaking, I would actually classify these into two,
Yes.
or rather three. I'll classify them into the marathons, the long marathons, like the classic, parade, what most of us would liken to the Dakar. Then we would actually go to the fast races.
Yes.
Many of us know about the WRC. That is where the KNRCs fall in, the National Rally Championship, and so on and so forth. And then you have the closed circuit races.
Yes.
That is where we get the autocross, RX, time trial, TT, the ones that they are doing on tarmac.
Yes.
Tarmac races, drag race, and so on and so forth. Now, we need to bring this whole ecosystem of motorsport competitors and then enthusiasts together and see how we can have a good blend and give entertainment to the public. And to be honest with you, I think with a bit of collaboration here and there, motorsports is a very big industry.
Yeah.
And we can help a lot of people go to higher levels.
Yes.
Then the other thing is about opportunities. All these races, both the closed circuit races as well as open field races, they are at the international level. But we have opportunities for our local competitors to go and compete in those races.
Yeah.
By and large, no, because we have very few events here, and we've only known one or two, three disciplines.
Yes.
So by opening up and bringing everybody on board, I think there's a lot more that we can do, and there's a lot more exposure that we can give to our competitors.
Yes.
To give them an opportunity in the international scene.
And all this advice you are able to give through the 7 to 70. Like we've seen and had quite a number of stuff about 7 to 70, but to be honest, we've not had an opportunity to interview you before and tell us What is 27 to 70 and where is it going?
7 to 70, when we thought about it, we were thinking of how can we bring together all generations into one bucket and harness our different potentials, under one umbrella.
Yeah.
And we toyed a lot with a lot of names, and 7 to 70 stood out. And at that time, our youngest competitor was 7 years. So we thought, wait a minute, 7 years is a good number. How far can we go? We can go to 70. You remember 2 years ago, there's I forgot his name, old Mzee who was competing in WRC, and he was
Yes, I remember.
yes, he was about 70 years. So we said, okay, 7 to 70 makes sense. So we are looking at competitors between 7 and 70.
Yes.
Doesn't mean that we cannot take younger or even older,
Correct.
but
That's the active
yes,
sporting age.
yes.
Okay.
For coining a name, it is turned out. I mean, even the rhyming itself came out very well. Then number two, we wanted to have a team that encompasses everybody. We have the ladies, we have young kids, we have older people, we have champions, we have legends, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that we have identified, or rather the single most important thing that we have identified in this sport, is that you need a bit of exposure and a lot of support.
Yeah.
Because to compete at the international level, you really need to have, grown both from the national to the regional and so on and so forth.
Yes.
And you need a bit of financing. So we came up with 70 to see how to harness a bit of sponsorship for our young competitors to take them to the next level. It may sound like far-fetched, but guess what?
Ipo siku.
Siku imefika.
Ishafika.
Shell have come in and supported us with fuel for this event. And Ndovu Cement have been there with us, and they support us on the CSR side. So 1, 2 have come in, 3, 4, 5. It will not be very difficult.
Yeah.
So we want to build a brand where we are first and foremost disciplined. We can showcase our competitors, and we have a forum to train them and to excel.
Yes. So as they say it, making your first million is not easy, but once you've made it, it becomes a walk, an easier walk for you in the process of making many more millions.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a journey you're talking about. For you to get the first sponsor, it's a little bit difficult, but now you've proved this thing is working. You have quite a number of people who are benefiting from these, 7 to 70 trainings and the like. And by the way, guys, you may not know, but earlier on today, we had quite a number of other drivers, and they said, Bengi has mentored them. They were here waiting for you.
Oh,
They were. They just wanted to see the classic car come in, but they had other, engaging activities in the afternoon. But now, let's talk about briefly. Come next week.
Yeah.
What's your hope?
Our plan is very simple. Drive it like we've stolen it.
Goja. Umesikia? Drive it like we've stolen it.
Yeah.
Oh shit, the Opel.
The Opel is a very nice nimble car.
Yes.
We want to drive it to the best possible limit.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, sensibly.
Yeah.
We wouldn't mind a win. I think it is
Quite competitive.
it's a very competitive car.
Yeah. What's the engine capacity?
It is a 1.8 liter engine.
Okay.
Everything is standard. Standard engine, standard gearbox. We've only done a little bit of improvement on the suspension. That's it. Yeah.
Can't wait to see it show down here as you shake it out and do a few tests here and there. Okay.
Absolutely. The car is here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, folks. Again, this is Eric Bengi. We can't wait to get to see what he does with his Opel and what is going to happen in Eldoret next week. Before we conclude this,
Yeah.
where does your shout out go to?
To all the fans, thank you very much. They have been there through and through for us. To our sponsors, they have been incredible. And very importantly, to all the people who have held our hand to get into motorsports and to be where we are. Trust you me, a lot of people have supported us. They continue to support us. And we couldn't be who we are today without those people. The engineers, the mechanics, East African Classic actually introduced us to Classic. People like Mindo, my navigator, he's been there with me from the very beginning. So many people. Thank you to all of them and our family for the support. Thank you.
Asante sana. Thank you so much and looking forward to catching you again soon.
Thank you very much.
All right.